Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to do, well, it's a pick a deck, okay? A pick a pile, pick a deck, but it's not that each pile has these decks only, it's just that I'm using this to identify. So the question tonight is, why did they not commit to you? Why did they not reciprocate this connection? If you felt this connection so strong, okay? I was actually researching something and it started spawning this idea. So you felt this connection, you felt it was there, but for some reason this relationship just never took off the ground, okay? So that's the question for tonight. We've got 3 piles here: Wisdom of the House of the Night, which now is not going to want to stay up, the Oracle of Dragon Fae, and the Elqui Oracle, all right? So think about which deck you want to use, and then we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? All right. Oh, so this is 1, 2, and 3, all right? Okay. So if you picked pile 1, we're going to go ahead and get started, all right? So we've got keep your temper. Don't allow anger to rule you, okay? I might have to use the book for this translation for these Akashic Tarot. We've got summer and winter. We've got true love. We've got 7 of Wands. We've got 8 of Cups. We've got 9 of Cups. 4 of Pentacles. I'm starting to understand our connection. I replay our conversations over and over again. I wish I could share my good news with you. Third party. That's kind of the energy I was getting. Grief. You are irreplaceable. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. White. Purity, innocence, security, and light. Safety and light. Feathers. Protection. Embarrassment. And distant. All right, so wow, you guys, I pulled a lot of cards for each deck. Let me just sip on this for a minute. The person you were dealing with was very guarded, okay? They had a lot of defenses up with you. They have a lot of shame, embarrassment, ego issues, okay? They hold on tight to things that are not necessarily even in their best interest, but they're very unconscious, okay? So when you guys were involved, they didn't realize what was going on with you guys. Now that time has gone by, they have a lot more clarity, okay? I feel like they chose a third party over you. I feel like they walked away from this connection, but I feel like now they're starting to get in touch with their heart center and they're really grieving. I feel the reason why you guys didn't get together was partially because they were unawakened, partially because some of the energy between you guys triggered a lot of wounds within you that could have actually pushed them away even more, but I don't think that's what initially happened. I think that they were very guarded, and I also think spiritually you were being protected because the person who they were then, and I feel like even now, would not have been good for you, okay? I do see that this situation caused you a lot of grief. I do feel like energetically you guys are walking away. I do feel like there was a need for a lot of balancing between dark and light here. And with the white, purity and innocence, summer and winter, I see as like kind of like the winter being a very depressed, barren, dead feeling, and then the summer, I do feel like this person came into your life and they made you feel alive, and you felt like this was really true love. I know deep down you are the one, but I'm too busy having too much fun. This person was very focused on just enjoying themselves, enjoying life. I feel like they were very nervous for you to see who they really were. I feel like they didn't feel like they were good enough for you. I feel like they might not have even been aware of this, but deep down they didn't feel worthy of such a connection. They were very guarded. They felt like they had to defend themselves a lot. And I do feel like they have anger issues, okay? I feel like they have anger issues, but it's more so towards themselves. This anger turned inward has turned into grief for them because they lost out on this potential to have true love with you. Now they don't have this person that they want to share their news with at the end of the day, okay? I replay our conversations over and over again. I feel like they're really trying to figure out, and maybe you are too, where this went wrong. But I feel like they're starting to understand. I feel like the more space you guys have, I also feel like this summer, with the summer and winter, could be the start of them starting to really realize things, and by winter they might really have like an awakening or some kind of epiphany. I don't feel like I'm cut out for this, and I was too busy having too much fun. I feel like they really didn't feel like they could be committed. You guys might see feathers a lot. I do feel like this was a spiritual thing that happened. I feel like because you guys didn't get together, it ended up triggering you to really work. Even if you haven't worked through your wounds, I feel like you guys ended up finding this strength within you, because when you lost them, you felt like you really lost your true love, okay? There could have been embarrassment on your side, but I feel like distant is also them being distant from their self and their true emotions. I feel like it was almost like a source of self-sabotage. Like they walked away, but then in the end, they ended up grieving and losing this, okay? So this third party was very significant, and you might feel like it's very significant, but their third party is honestly just a reflection of their lack of self-love. This third party is a external projection of both yours, which is your lack of self-love, and theirs, which is their lack of feeling like they really deserve, because I don't think this person is someone that they feel like really emotionally connects with them, okay? Deep down, you are their wish, their dream. I feel like their wish is to turn back the hands of time and make things right, okay? Change the conversations. You're irreplaceable. They haven't been able to find another connection that's like yours. So they're really still holding on tight to their ego, though, here. So if you haven't heard from them, I feel like that's why they're really, they don't want to let go of this, okay? So that's the message I have for one. I feel like it was pretty clear. I feel, that they had a lot of defenses with that Seven of Wands, and embarrassment, shame, distant, emotionally disconnected, not awakened, all right? So that's the message I have for pile number one, all right? So we're going to move on to pile number two. We've got secretive, judgmental. We've got brown, which is for grounding. Could have been dealing with an earth sign, stability, foundation. Creation, pen, also dealing with some creative person. I'm afraid to take that next step right now. Am I good enough for you? It's kind of a similar message that I got in one. Barrier. Vibrations. Sometimes I stay awake thinking of you. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. I wish things could be different. Page of Pentacles. Another earth sign energy. Eight of Swords. Temperance, Sagittarius. Wow, a lot of major arcanas here. The Devil, Capricorn, another earth sign. Dark Knight. Sangha, Community. Eight of Roses. And Curiouser, Discovery, Inquiry, Weirdness, and Curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat in this one, okay? I feel like this person was very confused, okay? I feel like you guys had these vibrations. Like, I definitely feel like it was mutual. I feel like there was some major barrier here to them feeling like they could really let you in, all right? I feel like there was maybe a lot of addiction here. I feel like there was a lot of lack of lack of balance in this person. I feel like they had these dreams of things that they wanted to do, and for some reason they thought that you would be a hindrance to their dreams, okay? I feel like this person was a dreamer. They're also very influenced by their environment. I think it was a lot harder for this person to let you go than they let on, okay? I'm afraid to take that next step right now. I feel like they couldn't commit. They just couldn't see themselves in a relationship. And then you may have saw them with someone else, but for some reason, I feel like this other person that they're with wasn't as intense, and it didn't make them feel like they'd have to give up their dreams and they'd have to stop doing anything that they wanted to do, okay? This person still thinks of you. They're still really mentally caught up in this. I feel like they're still caught up in addiction, to be honest. I want to pull, not pull, but I want to read what this Eight of Roses means. It does say community. I do feel like you guys may have been in the same community, or they may have been really affected by the people around them and their opinions, and they may have chosen someone who's in their same community, and they maybe would have felt like you weren't. I feel like they're still very confused though, okay? They're also very secretive. They have a lot of secrets. They are very, I feel like this judgmental here is like they're afraid of people judging them. They also are very judgmental themselves, and they judge themselves a lot, and they might have felt like you were judgmental for some reason. But for Senka community, it says inside a room, people are seated around a table conversing with interest and energy. There are many icons from different groups and societies. This card indicates that it's time to join your group, your ashram, your tribe, or your sangha. Whatever you call it, it is a community that connects you with others of like-minded purpose. I feel like this person actually, on a spiritual level, let you go because you were still trying to find yourself as well. You might have been confused about things, and through them letting you go, it actually caused a dark night for you, but then you aligned yourself more with your community here, okay? So I feel like they did you a favor. I feel like you found more balance. You found more ways of creativity through this loss, okay? So when I'm asking why didn't it work out, I'm not just asking why did they choose, but why did the universe obviously have it go the way it did? And I feel like temperance is about using your wounds and turning into creativity, and we have creative here. I feel like you're more grounded without them. I'm not saying this connection is never going to work, but it could in the future. But I feel like they've got a lot of BS that they were bringing to the table and addictions, and you guys might have been together when you were amidst addictions. I got Dark Night. It says, in the darkness, I cling to your light. Deep down in the trenches, you're always shining bright. I feel like this person would have pulled you down. I feel like the vibes between you guys were either really good or really bad, okay? And I feel like this person felt like you were on a higher level than them, all right? So they still need to work on themselves in terms of getting more clarity here. Like I said, it could have really been a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo that you're dealing with. I'm not really getting any water energy here at all. But it could be with the grounding and stability. But I feel like that's also like you guys being more grounded without this connection, all right? And Page of Pentacles, I feel like, you know, you both started a stronger foundation without each other, unfortunately. But at the same time, this person is still thinking about you, all right? And I still feel like they have a hard time letting you go, okay? Because they're still caught up in their thoughts. They're still trapped in this. And that's where they're at, all right? So that's my my reading for pile number 2. And then we're going to move on to pile 3, okay? Also could have been a Sagittarius that you were dealing with the Temperance. All right, so last but not least, pile 3. We've got Dependent, Stagnant, Fate, Satisfaction. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with my promises. I will make things right between us one day. Spring, Conclusion. I wish I could take back my words. I was in love with you. Wow. I left you before you could leave me. Knight of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Six of Cups, soulmate connection, inner child, nostalgia, reconciliation, High Priestess, Pisces. Seven of Swords, deception, fear. This path's unknown. I'm going to have to read that from the book, all right? And I want to be a queen, stating your sovereignty, declaring freedom, passing a test. This is a very interesting pile, all right? I just want to read this Eight of Scrolls, but I already kind of have an idea of what was going on with this person. And where is the scrolls here? All right, so paths unknown, 126, okay. What does it say? I just want to make sure I have an idea before I tell. This card reveals that you've been traveling on a path that's known to you, and it shows the way to the expected outcomes. But there are two other paths that aren't as clear. Remember, if you stay with only the known and seemingly safe, you won't catch the unseen opportunities that could come your way. Some options may be unexpected and perhaps a little risky. Don't be so attached to your agenda that you miss them. Happily, during this phase, you can investigate unknown paths and make the decisions that lie before you with confidence. You are flexible and brave enough to step into the shadows. That's interesting because I got dependent. So on a spiritual level, before I get into all their nonsense, I feel like you both might have actually had some abandonment issues. You might have been dependent on them, but I feel like they, in a spiritual reason, this was a very spiritual partner, okay? I feel like this could be twin flames. I don't think it's over because I did get conclusion, but I will make things right between us one day. So this dynamic lacks a conclusion, and that might be why you're asking this question. It was fated, everything that happened, all right? But paths unknown, I feel like they let you go. On a higher level, people think, well, they didn't love you back. But no, actually, their soul loved you so much that they knew that there were paths that you still hadn't taken, and they wanted to help you heal this part of you that's dependent, that gets attached to like what you think is the right way, because you might have experienced so much since this person let you go. You might have made friends with people, you might have gone on different job paths that ended up fulfilling you in different ways. So I feel like this person's soul on a level loved you so much that they let you go. I was in love with you. They might not have said it, you might not have felt it, but they really were, okay? I feel like you guys really physically, sexually satisfied each other. There could have been also a lot of alcohol involved, but I don't see this as bad. I feel like you guys had like a very strong sexual connection here. You could have had a relationship in the spring, all right? I feel like a lot of words were exchanged that you guys both regret, and deception, okay? This person could have lied to you, could have held things back from you. But I feel like this is also kind of a self-sabotage card. I feel like this person came and went very quickly. But the crux of all this, this is a soulmate connection. This is also saying, I will make things right between us one day. It's a reconciliation. It's kindred spirits, okay? But the crux of all this is a fear of abandonment, okay? I left you before you could leave me. And I don't even know if this person is conscious of this, but I don't know if I'll ever find someone to replace you, but I'm also afraid of missing out on my youth. This person masked their like player-like ways as this like bravado of like, I'm a player, I don't get attached, I don't want anyone depending on me, but really deep down they have a fear of abandonment. I want you guys to trust your intuition on this. You could have been dealing with a Pisces, you could be a Pisces, but I feel like this person heightened your spirituality, your intuition. They forced you to really look into yourself and like look to yourself for answers, okay? That's what the High Priestess, it's also very secretive in a way. So I do feel like, this person didn't reveal all their cards to you. As I say that, I look at this and it says cards. They didn't, all right? But they turned you into a queen inadvertently because they left you and you became a queen, all right? And this picture is like her kind of attached to the cat, but you actually have more freedom than you realize, okay? So they gave you that gift of freedom, all right? Deep down, they are sorry. They wish they could apologize. I also feel was stagnant that if you guys would have stayed together, you both would have been really stagnant. I feel like if you do end up together, now or the future is better, because at that time you would have held each other back, and I feel like they propelled you into this path unknown, and you still might be confused, like, where is this path taking me? I don't understand. It's been so painful. I just want to be with them. But as they keep a distance from you, I think you should see it as a form of love, because I do feel like there's a lot about like attachment and needing, but there's also a lot about like this unconditional love here. I mean, they're saying, I was in love with you and I left you. And if they've said really hurtful things, I do want you to know that they're apologizing in multiple ways, all right? So there's a lot of fear here. And if that's coming up for you, keep looking at your own fear. And if you felt like they didn't reciprocate your love, I've been reading The Power of Now a lot. It's things activate your pain body, and if you're trying to always filter things through that, you might choose people who reflect that pain body back to you, because the pain body is this like painful part in us that is like kind of like this monster under the bed, and we do things to feed it, and it could start to take over, and we could start to identify as it, but we are not that pain body. So if you had fears of abandonment from your childhood, or they did, it's a lesson for you both to realize that you're operating out of that place and you're creating that scenario. But I do feel like regardless of that, you guys may have had even past lives with this person, and I do feel like they think about the past a lot. Okay, so guys, that's your message. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.